Good evening, Mr. Anand. I'm Nanditha from Christ University. Today, I'd like to ask you questions about your journey as an entrepreneur and how you came about the whole idea of your business. So, please talk me through the business and what the company primarily does.
So we are in the business of building inspection systems, automated inspection systems that are used for automating the visual quality inspection of products that are manufactured. So it could be used for any type of manufacturing, wherever you need to look at a product and determine if the product is all right visually.
Okay, so where do you apply this in, and what do you use it for?
This is typically used in industries. Let me give you an example for you to understand this. Let's say your cell phone that you're using to take a picture, take a video now. If it needs to be checked for, say, parameters like scratching or blemishes on the glass, etc. The normal way of doing this would be to have a human inspector look at the product and then determine if it was visually suitable. Of course, the human inspector has a lot of capabilities, but the problem with manual inspection is that it's prone to subjective errors. No two human inspectors can agree on the same thing. Besides that, it also depends on the mood that he is in, the time of the day, how tired he is. So repeatability is an issue in manual inspection. And whenever any humans are not good at repetitive tasks.
Okay, all right.
This is one of the things that automated inspection tackles. We use cameras and software to mimic the human function of eyes and
Okay.
brain.
All right. So I looked up your website and I found that you did 2 masters. So what were your masters in? And yeah, if you could.
Yeah, my undergraduate degree was in electrical engineering. I studied in PhD College of Technology in Coimbatore. That's where my hometown is, and I was always interested in electrical engineering, so I decided to go and do a master's in electrical engineering. And I then was contemplating on what I should be doing. My father had a business in plastics engineering, and then I decided to study plastics engineering as well. I spent another 2 years getting another master's in plastics engineering. Overall, this has helped me quite a bit.
Yeah,
even though I.
So these both these masters seem to be in different fields. How did it help you in the business that you're doing right now?
Yes, they are in different fields. I mean, some would consider it as diagonally opposite field, electrical engineering and plastics engineering. But in the current business that I am in, it's multidisciplinary. So to build an inspection system, we have imaging hardware, electronics hardware, we have software, we have mechanical systems. So everything comes together. And plastics engineering helped me in the mechanical aspect of things, and that's how it's very useful.
Okay, so did you ever land a job, and did you have the opportunity to work under someone before you got into this field of being an entrepreneur?
Yes, after I finished my first master's in the US, which was in electrical engineering, and I minored in computer science, I had an opportunity to work for Intel, but after I decided to do my plastics course, I did a short stint in DuPont in the field of plastic films. After that, I came back to India. I spent a number of years in my father's business, and that gave me a good orientation of being an entrepreneur in a smaller industry. which really helped when I started my own industry, because when you start something, you start from scratch, and pretty much all the functions you would need to do yourself.
Okay, so as per my understanding, you had an idea, and a lot of people are passionate about different things, but what really pushed you into making it into a full-fledged business rather than just a successful project or something on a smaller scale? What made you realize that it could be turned into a full-fledged company?
Well, the primary reason for starting a business was to not just satisfy my technical wants, but it also to, at the end of the day, to be commercially successful and make a living out of that. So it was good because this was something that I liked to do technically, and at the same time it was a livelihood opportunity for me, and therefore I pursued it, looking at both the angles, not just the technical aspect, but also looking at every project from a commercial angle.
Okay, so starting up, did you face any struggles, and did you receive all the support that you needed? When I talk about support, I mean financial support in setting up your business.
Yes, when we started, of course, there was a conscious decision to start with lower risk. This was a conscious decision because just to mitigate risks, and so what I did was I signed up as a trading partner for some of the firms that were already in the business, and that way we could explore the business a bit, and at the same time work with established products. So it certainly was less riskier, and the also a good part was it was generating cash flows, which really helped in the early days of the business. So apart from some savings, we fortunately never needed much of financial assistance from the outside world, just because of the way we started the business with the lower risk, and to this day we continue that activity, but today our main business is in developing products. So if we had started this in day one, it would have been riskier, but in hindsight I think it was a good move to make.
Okay, and so who exactly are your competitors, and how is your company different from theirs? What is your unique selling proposition?
So we are focused at the moment quite a bit on the Indian market. We have competition from many overseas players. We are in a niche business. There's not too many people doing the kind of things that we do. It's in an area of higher technology, so that gives us a good separation between companies that want to start off in this area. Having said that, there is established competition. Fortunately for us, most of these competitors are overseas, and for them to we are where the market is, we are close by, and that gives us a big advantage because we're closer to the customer, we understand their problems, we can react quicker, we can support them better, we can develop products that are suited for them. The global players usually have a difficult time, they cater to a global audience, so all these factors give us an edge, and not to mention that we're also very cost effective because we have lower cost base in India compared to the overseas competitors.
Okay, so who do you supply to, and you've spoken about supplying to companies and bodies overseas as well. So is it different? Do you have to customize your products to cater to their specific needs? How does it work?
So we have currently what we do focus on is in the area of print quality inspection. We supply systems for examining the print quality of documents, printed documents. These documents could be in the commercial space, or it could be in the security space. In the security space, we inspect, security documents such as currency notes, visa stickers, passports, etc. In the commercial space, we check for quality of printed documents that are used in the pharma industry, in packaging, these type of industries. So, in the security space, we have good market share in India. We have about 90% of the banknotes that are printed in the country are inspected with our systems. So this success in India has allowed us to seek opportunities overseas. So we have OEM customers in Japan and in the US. They use our systems in their machines, and then they sell them across the world. So it's a good opportunity for us to have started in India, gained the experience, developed mature products which we can then sell to overseas markets.
Yeah, okay. So as a company, you have to adhere to a lot of regulations, and you're under careful watch by a lot of regulatory bodies. So have there been any slip-ups by your company, and how have you managed to sail through it?
Yeah, we've had plenty of slip-ups, primarily because especially when we were a startup, everything had to be done ourselves, and sometimes we don't know the rules, we don't know the repercussions of an action, and we could go the wrong way, but fortunately we've had a good team of consultants and auditors who helped us navigate those issues. Over time, we've been also careful to make sure that we understand regulations, and today we take particular care that we're cognizant of all the rules and try to stay on the right side.
Okay, so as an entrepreneur, have you made any personal sacrifices, like the necessity to pump in extra hours to meet a particular deadline? And do you feel like sometimes that you wouldn't have faced that working under somebody? Do you feel like that's
yes, a lot of times, of course, we always joke that if we were an employee, then it's something you can walk away, come home, and then forget about things. But as an entrepreneur, you're always thinking about things, even in the middle of the night. So that's a burden that you have to live with. But the benefits of it is seeing what you've built grow, and feeling fortunate that the employees that work under you, you're able to give them a good satisfactory and life, not just work satisfaction, but livelihood as well. So overall it's very satisfying. There is, of course, the flip side of having to deal with this maybe 24/7. You don't get this out of your mind when you come back home.
Yeah, so like you were saying, what motivates you to meet a particular deadline when there's no external force pushing you to do it? A lot of people work well under pressure, and when they're given a task and asked to meet a particular deadline is when they can do it. But what happens when there's no deadline at all?
Yeah, so I think the answer is most entrepreneurs have a deadline and a goal that they fix for themselves. It's not stipulated by anyone else, but it's something that they set out to achieve. This is what drives them, and in my case, it's no different.
Okay, all right. I think that's what I had in mind. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for your time.